never got up, he'd still be called a hero. And if he hadn't stepped back on the court, he'd still be a Hall of Famer. And if he didn't hit those free throws, he'd still go down in basketball history. And if he never came back to the game, he'd be a living legend. But he wouldn't be Kobe.
What's good, Lakers fans? It's the Lakeshow's finest once again with your host, Charles, Chucky Atkins, Charles Barkley, KB24 status, Kobe 24 MP3. Bringing you another Lakeshow's finest Redux. I mentioned Lakeshow's finest Redux. Hand in hand. We're good, though. We're good. So the Lakers, I think, had their most impressive victory today. They defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder 138-128 in the final OT. If you watched the game, which I assumed you did since you came to this podcast, it shouldn't even gone to overtime. But that's neither here nor there. We could expand on that for days. It was the most complete game of the year. Stat lines galore. It was, thanks to Lakers Stats Info, it was a 50-50-90 game, almost. They're never going to have that stat line ever again this year. I guarantee it. And if they do, I'll eat crow. I don't mind. Whatever. So I want to start off with our big three, Kuzma, Alonzo, and B.I. Talk a little bit about how this is an evaluation period, and I believe that is maybe a factor why LeBron's taking longer than usual. I'm going to talk about Kyrie's apology. That's more of a minor thing, but I'm also going to talk about trade proposals because Zubac has been playing so well. I think he's turned into an asset. And there will be no story time today. I'm sorry to disappoint you. If you must know, I have a family member that has a birthday tomorrow. So I'm kind of putting that as a priority. Wow. Shocker. So we're going to start, like I said, right off the bat with the big three. Kuzma. I think it's clear Kyle Kuzma's our best player on the team besides LeBron. Our top five players in no particular order, in my humble opinion, is Kuzma, Lonzo, B.I., LeBron, Rondo. I don't think I'm leaving anybody out. If I am, then I'm the worst Laker fan ever. No, but we're going to start with Kuzma and how I think he's Kobe 2.0. I really do. And that fadeaway at the end of overtime that he missed, at the end of regulation that he missed at the end of the fourth quarter, I swear to God, I saw Kobe. It was so weird seeing that, like Toronto Raptors game-winning Kobe. I can't believe that even. It was scary. And as many people know, he trained with Kobe over the summer. And I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to harp on it so many times. Kyle Kuzma's contract is a bargain. If you don't understand how the Lakers salary cap works, I'm going to explain this real fast. So he has a 5-year rookie scale deal, and compared to Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, who were obviously number 2 picks, we're very lucky we got Kyle Kuzma at 27 or 28, I believe, from the Utah Jazz. And when he was drafted his first year, he made minimal, not a lot. This year, he's making $1.6 million. To put that in perspective, the salary cap right now this year is about $102 million, $100 million. Next year, it's projected to be $108 million. So $1.6 million out of $102 million, I gotta say, might be a bit of a bargain. So this is year 2. Next year is year 3, 2019 to 2020. He'll be 24 years old, and he's making $1.9 million. That's a big jump. The year after that, 2020 to 21, he's making $3.5 million. That player option has not been picked up yet, but it will be. After year 3, he'll, in my opinion, get a big rookie extension, but we'll see after that. And then in year 5, he has a qualifying offer of $8.9 million, and that's the cap hold. With year 5 is $5.2 million. So it goes 1.6, 1.9, 3.5, 5.2. And after next year, the 108, it's going to spike even more because this TV deal, even the Lakers have a Spectrum TV deal. Like, I think the Lakers signed the deal with Spectrum for billions for a 20-year deal. It's the highest, the biggest deal ever between a sports franchise and a market like Spectrum, former Time Warner Cable. So it's going to spike because of that. And, of course, because it won't be Warriors-Cavs again, things are going to change, and there'll be even more money because there'll be more variety, obviously. So I really believe Kuzma's a guaranteed all-star next year. I'm not saying this subjectively. I'm saying it objectively because I believe this summer he's going to work his tail off. It seems right now he's still a little bit banged up. Maybe the back, I don't know. After he walked off the court with the interview with Ali LaForce, he seemed to limp a tiny bit. But thank God we have a day off tomorrow before playing the Rockets, so we're really lucky. So yeah, guaranteed all-star. I'm pretty sure that'd be unanimous opinion, especially since he's a Lakers and it's the most popular franchise. But we'll see what happens. Now I'm going to get to Lonzo real quick. I'm not going to talk about that foul at all, but I will talk about his defense. I'm sorry. I didn't say Kyle Kuzma's stat line. Kyle Kuzma had 32 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals with a -4 plus minus, but he did have 4 turnovers. But I mean, the 4 turnovers is really the only issue. He had 4 fouls, but that's irrelevant. Collectively as a team, the Lakers shot 19 for 21 from the free throw line. That's an anomaly. 90.5% free throw percentage. We shot 48% from 3. That's also an anomaly. So we almost did a 50-50-90, like I said in the beginning. Our overall field goal percentage was 50.5, free throw 90, 3.48. So Kuzma's 32, 8, 4, and 3. Lonzo was 18, 6, 10, 1. He had 2 turnovers and that terrible foul. Lonzo was 4 for 10 from 3, and thank God he did not take any free throws. If he did, we'd be talking about a whole different bag of issues. But Lonzo was 4 for 10 from 3, and Kuz was as sexy as fuck. 7 for 12 for 58% from the line, 3-point line. So Brandon, let's get back to Brandon, because Brandon's next, actually, I'm sorry. Really quickly, Lonzo's defense was amazing. There was this one play, I think it was the first quarter, where Paul George got the ball in the low post, and Lonzo was chesting him. Chest, he bumped, he shadowed the fake, and then he got right up under him. He didn't, it's not like Paul George, it's not like he got under him like Paul George landing on his foot, but he got right in his grill, hands straight up, and Paul George made the shot. But literally, you could not have done better defense. And speaking of Paul George real fast, I guarantee you the next 1 or 2 times we play the Thunder, he's an average over 30. So he had 27, 7, 8, 3 on 48% free field goal percentage, 67% free throw, 5 for 12 from 3. So he likes to kick our ass. The next player I want to talk about in the big 3 is Brandon Ingram. He was shot very, very poorly from the field, shooting 1 for 9 for a measly 11%. But he had 5 rebounds, 11 assists, and 1 block. And usually that's a stat line that like Lonzo will have, which is kind of funny. pretty much. But I mean, I'm really, I love it. I don't care. I mean, if you're going to have 11 assists and Lonzo's going to have 10 assists, that's what you want when you're splitting point guard duties and there's no Rondo-LeBron point guard combo. So you have 4 point guards right now, and Brandon's doing a great job in that aspect. I don't care about the points. With Lonzo, I don't care about the points. With Brandon Ingram, I do care about the points. But as long as one of them has, 15 plus, and then, of course, Kuzma will take the heavy load. Real quick, Zubats played really well. 26, 12, and 1. That's 26 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, a career high. And he's shaping into a real trade asset, like I mentioned before. And I really, really, really think that his soft hands and soft touch are going to get him really far in his career. He's only 21, so we'll see what happens. This was a perfect game to evaluate all the players. It showed off all their weaknesses and strengths of the young core. And I truly believe that LeBron is using this as an opportunity to just look at everybody before the trade deadline. I think LeBron, Magic, Rob Pelinka, Rob Lowe, and Rich Paul all sat in a room privately recently, and they said, you know what? I'm going to wait until I'm 1,000%. And I don't care if we're the 6, 7, or 8 seed, because we're only, 2 games back of the 4 seed? Wherever you are, nobody's going to want to face us, and we can evaluate these guys. And tonight was the perfect game to do it. Kuzma played great. That's his strength, scoring, 8 rebounds. That's what you want from Kuzma. You want 20 to 25 points, getting those rebounds, boxing out, and just a handful of assists, You want him to move the ball, make the extra pass a little bit. But the standout for Kuzma, like I said, was the 3 steals. Okay, so we talked about that. We're going to move on to my trade proposals. And this is only one trade proposal. The money matches, I believe. And if it doesn't, you can find another cap filler. But I think this is the perfect trade after this game. Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, Ivica Zubac, and KCP will act as the cap filler because he's making, I think, $12 million right now. Picks and or cash consideration since the Pelicans are a joke franchise. The owner died recently, RIP. And for Anthony Davis, I think that trade would go through. And if it doesn't right now, this summer definitely, he's gone. The owner, the wife, Gail Benson, doesn't give a fuck about that franchise. She cares more about the Saints. Way more popular and makes way more money. So I'll repeat that. Josh Hart, Zubats, BI, KCP, picks, cash for AD. Zubats is a non-guaranteed contract next year, so he can be waived, but they're not going to waive him. They're going to pick him up, whoever gets that contract. The Pelicans would definitely pick that up. They might give him an extension. I have no idea. Once again, the Josh Hart contract is a bargain. I said this before. I'll say it again. Kuzma and Josh Hart are just the keys to our cap space, I mean. Brandon Ingram can get a rookie designated extension over the summer, which means he can get a max rookie. I forgot the percentage of the cap, but he can get an extension. So the point is that this summer, the Pelicans can trade and get these 3 key pieces, B.I., Hart, and Zubats, and make all these moves right away. They can pick up Hart's option. They can waive or keep Zubats. They can give Brandon Ingram this huge rookie extension, or they can decide to hold off since they're in no rush because they'll be in rebuilding mode and just see how he does and then give him the qualifying offer the next year. Brandon Ingram has a huge cap hold. I'll tell you what it is right now. But looking it up real fast. Josh Hart and Zubats are minimal, like I said. KCP's 12, and Brandon Ingram is at, I want to say 8. I'm sorry, bear with me, my fellow Lakeshow's finest fans. So Brandon Ingram's cap hold is, I think that's wrong. It says $9 million, but that's definitely, I think that's wrong. But it jumps. So this year he's at 5.7. Next year 7.2, and then the offer is 9.4. But so if you add it up, that's 5. Zubats is 1. Josh Hart's like 1, which is 7, and then it's the next year's Brandon Ingram's contract, so it's 7, 1, 1, 9. KCP is 12, which is 21, and I think AD makes 23. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check this one as well. Got to give you guys my facts. I got to get the facts right. We're not BSing anything. We're not paraphrasing. We're not hyperbolizing anything. Yes. So the Lakers would get his contract of $25 million in February, or they would wait for $27 million. So over the summer, it would be easier to trade because there'll be more cap space for both teams. But right now, the $25 million and I think I said 22 or 21 million, those pretty much match, and you can throw in someone else or whatever and figure it out. The Lakers would need to get back. The Lakers would need to get back a player or two from the Pelicans because their roster is maxed out, and then probably waive someone. But yeah, we have 15 slots. This deal would change everything. I'm sorry, BI, but you gotta go. You just gotta. There's not room for 4 point guards. I don't know if I said this, but I think Lonzo is the best player on the team in terms of the future. In the long term, in, 5 years, I think Lonzo will be the best player on the team, and LeBron will probably be gone, and Kuzma will be like that nice number 2, but Lonzo just has so many different abilities. He's like what's that baseball term? 5 utility type guy, 5 different things in the wheelhouse. I don't know. He has all the tools. I think he'll be a perennial all-star. Maybe this might, subjectively, maybe even all-NBA second team in like 5 years. I don't know about that one. But I do see his jersey in the rafters in 15 years. Or he'll retire like whatever. But in like 20 years, I do see his jersey up there. Not a hot take. I just think he's that good. And he'll develop real well. But that's the trade proposal. I really think that it could work the best. The big thing is the cash considerations, I think. I mean, like the minor, like it's not a minor thing is what I'm trying to say. Like that's a big deal as well. That's like an asset. So the reality is the Pelicans can take that deal now, or over the summer I just retract Josh Hart and just do Zubats, BI, do a sign and trade with KCP. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I really, really think this game was the perfect game for Magic and Rob. I don't even think they were there, but for Magic and Rob to just see and turn some heads, especially as on national television. So real quickly on the Kyrie apology. Kyrie, I don't think this was BS. I think this was real. Kyrie likes to toy the media a lot, but I think... So he first said he called LeBron to apologize, and like that's fine, whatever. But it was really about the leadership thing, and Kyrie's wasn't ready to be a leader, and he's not right now, as you can see with the Celtics team. But that's a big deal to me, because LeBron knows he's one of the smartest players the NBA has ever seen, maybe the smartest, and he's very tactical, and he knows how to lead. And he has the same asshole mentality as Kobe and Michael, which I love. I love that. Like when LeBron passed Michael Jordan for most points in the playoff points, I think. I might be wrong. Like, he didn't think it was a big deal. And Kyrie was, like, mad at him. He's like, Michael Jordan. And, like, that's how LeBron should be. It's like, I'm the greatest. Everybody bow down. Well, he's not the greatest. Kobe's and Michael are better than him. I'm sorry. But that's how it should be, you know. Just a stuck-up a-hole like Rondo and Kobe. One last thing really quickly. So Dante Jones had a reaction to that. And I don't care about Dante Jones because he destroyed Kobe's ankle. All right, so that's Lakeshow's finest, Redux once again. I'm Chucky Atkins. Feel free to check the description for all the pertinent information, and have a great weekend. I think this Rockets game is winnable because we've already seen them twice, but just gotta guard the 3-point line. Just got to do it. That's their problem. Can't guard the 3-point line. So, no story time. Have a good one. Stay safe. Go Rams.